The Swope Park Rangers can smell the playoffs as they continue their late season homestand. It's game 2 of 5 in a row in Kansas City, and the Rangers will look to continue their hot streak as they sit in 9th place, just 1 point outside the playoff places. Among the teams above them is LA Galaxy 2, who hope to stop their recent slide tonight in Kansas City. It's Swope Park Rangers versus LA Galaxy 2 now. And welcome to Kansas City, Missouri, Swope Soccer Village and Children's Mercy Victory Field. The floods last night and the lightning tonight could not keep the fans away. We appreciate you joining us as the Swope Park Rangers and LA Galaxy 2 are getting ready to start as this delayed kickoff is about ready to start off. I'm Carter Augustine, joined as always by Chad Reynolds in the booth as we look forward to bringing you this Western Conference action in the USL tonight. And it's a matchup between two teams with a lot of playoff hopes on the line, including the visitors, LA Galaxy 2. 5 changes named to the side by an assistant coach yet to be named, as Kurt Anolfo was sent off in the last game against OC Blues, and including in those 5 changes, a few different players coming into the side, including Ethan Zubak. But Chad, what sticks out to you is the homegrown presence in this LA Galaxy setup.
Absolutely, Carter. 9 of the 11 for the LA Galaxy 2 tonight come from the LA Galaxy Academy system, which is really impressive. And included in that are 4 players who have seen, we'll call it significant time, either in Open Cup or in Major League Soccer play with the first team, the Los Angeles Galaxy.
Jeffrey Payaras coming into the center back position, voided by Hugo Arellano, who was sent off in that game against the OC Blues as well. As for the home side, the Swope Park Rangers, coached by Mark Dos Santos, who has made 3 changes tonight, including, most notably, a couple changes on the back line and a new goalkeeper getting his professional debut, Adrian Zendejas.
Yeah, Adrian Zendejas making his professional debut tonight, and he's got to be pretty pleased to see the 2 men in front of him, Omar Ballo and Amir Djidic, who are, without a doubt, the 2 preferred center backs for the Swope Park Rangers. Also, though, Carter, up top, I would call this the preferred front line for the Swope Park Rangers, with Dane Kelly flanked by Mark Anthony Gonzalez and Chris Tierpak.
We'll see for the 2nd straight game that front 3 in action together, and Tyler Pasher makes his return to the lineup as well alongside Amir Djidic. So, Chad, these 2 teams perhaps in different nicks of form right now, as Swope Park Rangers just 2 losses in their last 10. Meanwhile, LA Galaxy 2 have 0 wins in their last 4.
0 wins in their last 4, and this is the 3rd game of a 3-game road trip for LA Galaxy 2. Meanwhile, Swope Park Rangers haven't lost at home in the last month. This is a really big one with the playoffs on the line, and you've got 2 teams, as you said, Carter, in different sets of form right now. If you're a Swope Park Rangers fan, you're just hoping that home form holds and LA Galaxy 2's road form holds.
And, of course, LA Galaxy 2 losing the USL's leading scorer, Jack McBean, and perhaps it's not a coincidence that they haven't won a game since he has gone out of the starting lineup.
And Jack McBean going off on loan to England. And what you've got right now is kind of questions about who's supposed to pick up the attacking slack. Jack McBean been gone nearly a month, or more than a month now, and nobody in the league has caught him. He's still the league's leading goal scorer, and he hasn't played in 4 or 5 matches for most teams. So you've got Jose Villarreal, who's a fantastic player, a lot of time with the LA Galaxy first team, but is he really a guy who's going to bang in goals on a game-by-game basis the way Jack McBean was? So far, he hasn't proven it.
A lot to prove tonight for all these players on the field, and a few changes into the Swope Park Rangers lineup as well, Chad, and Mark Dos Santos was talking about how comfortable he is with this back line, which appears to be what would be his first choice back line after a few players had spent some time up with Sporting Kansas City.
Well, you know, Carter, it's funny. It's probably been a month now ago that Mark Dos Santos told us, you know, our best left back is Tyler Pasher, and we've only had a chance to play him there once or twice this season. He says Christian Duke's a very good left back, but when Christian Duke plays at left back, we get a 7 performance out of Christian Duke. When we put Christian Duke in the midfield, he's an 8 or a 9. Tyler Pasher is an 8 or a 9 when he's a left back, and so he said all season long, that's the guy he wants there. Well, he's there tonight. He's got his preferred starting 4 across the back line.
So it's game 2 of a 5-game homestand late on in the season as the referee Kyle Burkhart gets this one underway from Kansas City, Missouri. LA2, Los Dos, will start with the ball going from right to left in their all-white traditional LA-looking strip. Swope Park Rangers wearing their home blue on blue. And it's a ball over the top, immediately testing Omar Ballo, a little shove in the back there, and it is noticed. It was Ethan Zubak getting over the top, and you could see some pace from the 18-year-old. Perhaps what's allowed him to get in the side after the aforementioned Jack McBean has gone on loan to Coventry.
Ethan Zubak, a big kid, too, up there, fast. He looks like he's going to be a big, strong guy. 17 appearances this year for Los Dos, but only 1 goal on the season.
Wide with Tyler Pasher. Again, at left back for the first time since June 8th. A 4-0 thumping victory at home against RGV. So we'll see if Pasher can keep that form up in his left back position. Ayrton now getting into the box. Early chance for the Rangers. Across the face of goal. Hands to it by the goalkeeper. Still spilled and loose. Diop just getting enough on it. And now LA can look to start a counterattack. And that's Villarreal charging forward. Poked ahead for Bradford Jamieson. Jamieson now, plenty of time to pick out a cross as he makes his way into the box. Sidestep to his right, and he shoots and scores! It's a dream start for the visitors. Los Dos get the first goal of the game just a few minutes in. Bradford Jamieson cutting inside from the left. It's 1-0.
Well, and it all starts with the quick break. Ball spilled at the back end by Clement Diop, but LA Galaxy, as soon as they receive the ball and kind of collect it, they break quick. Villarreal plays Jamieson into the corner here, and he's one-on-one with Tommy Meyer. Tommy Meyer trying to show him the inline, as you see right there, and it's one quick, maybe a second touch to the right, and Villarreal beats Zendejas at the back post.
Take a look again here as Jamieson getting, perhaps surprisingly, his first goal of the USL season. He's put the visitors up 1-0 early on. Not the best start for Adrian Zendejas in his professional debut, as he and the rest of the Rangers will have to come from behind if they want anything out of this game.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. You like facing a shot early if you're a goalkeeper, but you want it to be an easy one. And he's put in a tough spot there. Bradford Jamieson given way too much time and space in the area and ability to get that close to the goal and take a shot from that angle.
LA now gaining some possession after the restart. Inside and back around the back line. Have to see how this formation pans out for the Galaxy, as that one's out of bounds, out for a Swope Park Rangers throw-in. The graphic listed it as a 4-3-3. Of course, Bruce Arenas known to love his 4-4-2, so wouldn't be surprised to see that being more the functioning formation. Jidic now back to Zendejas. Here's Tommy Meyer, who made the mistake last weekend that led to the St. Louis goal and was beaten early on in this match as well for a goal. That's Jaime Villarreal. Brothers with Jose, just a year younger. Wearing the captain's armband as well. Jaime Villarreal, and something that perhaps slipped my notice is Dane Kelly went out the game injured, so you're seeing a Swope Park Rangers lineup down to 10 men at the moment. Looks like Kelly's about ready to check back in. Here he is trotting back onto the field, and Chad, that's something that Dane Kelly's had a problem with this year, is staying fit and healthy.
Yeah, and we saw him play fantastic the first 2 matches of the season, or rather the first match of the season and then the first half of the second match. And when he got hurt, it's taken him a long time to get back into fitness.
Pasher making a lung-busting run down the left flank. I'll love to get forward, Will Tyler Pasher. He's got 3 goals on the season. Ayrton now. Inside with Mark Anthony Gonzalez. It's a promising spell of possession for the hosts. It's a missed control by Ayrton, and used to seeing better from the Corinthians man. Good tracking work, though, from Chris Tierpak to regain control. Jidic, it's a poor ball inside. He was looking for Christian Duke, just didn't get the accuracy. Nathan Smith now charging forward, another of the California natives on this team. Be hard pressed to find many that aren't from California, or at least spent much of their youth there.
And that man right there, Carter Clement Diop, the one major exception to that, the former French youth international who actually started 2 matches for the LA Galaxy first team in goal this week, is now deputized back down here with LA Galaxy 2.
Brian Rowe getting the start for the Galaxy, which means Clement Diop back in the lineup. He's made 16. This will be his 16th appearance for Los Dos, so of course he's used to playing with the Galaxy 2. He's got a 1-0 lead here as we tick on past the 6th minute. Early goal from Bradford Jameson, the 4th, assisted by Jose Villarreal on the play. Well, maybe you won't give him an assist because Jameson had the ball for quite some time before he cut inside and unleashed a shot to the far post. There's a foul. Ryu Fuji. Pasher now back with Omar Balos, making his 6th consecutive start. Really has rested that center back position away from his competitors on the team and made it his own. That's a clever inside pass. Fuji now will drive forward. Doesn't have numbers, just 2 attackers up for the Galaxy, so Fuji wisely decides to play it back with Villarreal, and now it's the other Villarreal. Cycling possession in his defensive mid's position. And Diop with a big punt forward. Don't think Villarreal is going to win many in the air against Balo or Didic. That was certainly the case there. Meyer wide with Tierpak. Still carrying the ball, Tierpak, and they'll call it back for a foul. And Chad Mark Dos Santos spoke in the week of how proud he was of his team's performance after going down a goal last weekend against St. Louis. They stormed back, got an equalizer, and actually had a few really good chances to take all 3 points late on. And of course, they'll have to do the same thing here tonight. What do they need to do to get back in this game?
Well, I think the result last week, especially after such a tough goal to give up, such a disappointing goal to give up, to show the fight to come back. And that's really the key, especially going down so early in this game. There's all kinds of time. You got to take advantage of your opportunities, but you got to fight and make sure you don't put yourselves down another goal, because then it's even harder. So the more you fight, the more you work it back early and show LA Galaxy, hey, we're in this game. We're not just going to roll over because we're down early. That's where you're going to get back into it.
That first throw-in looked like a host of Rangers players were looking for a deflection. Wasn't given by either head referee Kyle Burkhart or the assistant referee. So instead, it's Los Dos ball. Here's Smith again. Back with Villarreal retreating into his own half to get on the ball. It's a bad giveaway from Walefi. Haven't heard Walefi's name too much. He, of course, got his first minutes with Sporting Kansas City as he traveled to Vancouver for the CONCACAF Champions League. Tommy Meyer back at right back, where he'd been playing majority of his games recently before being shifted over to center back against St. Louis. His ball intercepted. Smith again. Hopeful ball up for Villarreal. Would have taken a lot to come down with that. Well read by Walefi, and now Marc-Anthony Gonzalez charges forward. Stopped by a solid tackle from Oscar Sorto. Wide now from Mendiola all the way to the goal scorer, Bradford Jameson the 4th. Mendiola looking for continuation of his run and just managed to keep it in bounds, prevented a goal kick. It just did, says the referee. I think that was the right call there, Chad.
Yeah, still some confusion, though, between Tommy Meyer and the referee and the LA Galaxy 2 players about what's actually going on. I think we got a throw-in down in the corner now.
Tierpak flicks it on. Christian Duke playing in his midfield role. Out of bounds off Tierpak. Nathan Smith looking for a foul on the play. Thought he ran down from behind, and Tierpak just getting a little talking to there. It's the 20th game for Smith this year. Another one of the academy guys. As Chad mentioned, just about everyone either is from California or on the academy in this starting 11. 10 of the 11 players California based. Quick throw. Smart play from Smith. Caught the defense sleeping. And Meyer hits the double tip out of bounds. Tommy Meyer moving to his right back position, and Mark Dos Santos said that was the position he had been doing really well at so far this season.
Yeah, Mark Dos Santos maybe not getting what he expected in terms of communication from Tommy Meyer at a center back spot. That's something that both Omar Ballo and Amir Džidić excel at. And when Tommy Meyer slid into that right back spot after Jimmy Mulligan was recalled on his loan by New York Cosmos, it really kind of solidified things. It coincided with the two center backs gelling and Omar Ballo and Amir Džidić really picking their game up. And it just seemed to bring everything together for the back line.
Well, here's Meyer again as he headed out the first ball. He's now got to defend the second. Did well. It's a hardy challenge from Jamison, and he fizzes one across the box. Looked like he got a touch somewhere in the box there. Yep, off a Swope Park Rangers player. It'll be a throw-in, and Bradford Jamison is creating all types of problems along the left wing.
And Tommy Meyer's been trying to show him to his right foot, or show Bradford Jamison to his left foot there. And I think he's a little surprised when Jamison pulls out all the way across himself and whips that ball across.
On the quick restart, Galaxy along the byline. It's lofted towards the penalty spot. Meyer tries the head clear. It's not the best clearance. Smith now, it's a full-blooded challenge between the two players, Smith and Duke. And it's a foul against the Rangers captain. The referee, Cal Burkhart, wants to talk with Christian Duke there. Perhaps show the foot a bit too high. Take a look here at this 50-50 challenge.
I think you got a shot for a handball there, but then Christian Duke comes in with the studs just a little too exposed, I think. The ball is hopping up, but probably don't flatten that foot out, and he doesn't get that call.
So, two Villarreal brothers standing over the free kick here for Los Dos. It's a nice position. First Villarreal runs it over. It's Jose Villarreal to take. And towards the near post, it's a smart save. Adrian Zendejas alert to the danger and quickly over to his left.
And Carter, that's exactly the kind of save you want to make early in a game like this. You just wish it was your first action of the match if you're Adrian Zendejas in your debut rather than your second.
It was Zendejas picking the ball out of his own net after just a minute and a half had gone by. That's still the score now. It's 1-0. Move into the 15th minute. It's a good ball over the top. Mark Anthony Gonzalez onside. Keeps it in play. Squares it back for Ayrton. Still in the box. Nice challenge, though, from Villarreal to take possession away from Ayrton in the box when he had what looked to be a little bit of space to get a shot off.
And Carter, thus far, it feels like there are Villarreals everywhere, and that's not only just because there's two of them on the field. That's because those two guys are everywhere. They are covering all sorts of ground. Jose Villarreal coming deep to receive the ball. Jaime Villarreal there making a big defensive play. They are absolutely the catalyst for everything LA Galaxy 2 are doing right now.
That's exactly what Mark Dos Santos anticipated. Said this team is full of talent, as Chad was talking to you about. A lot of players have made the step up and played for LA Galaxy in MLS. Chiefly among them, Jose Villarreal. He's made 56 appearances for Galaxy, and he and his brother, Mark Dos Santos, were anticipating being the two biggest parts of this team tonight. It's a ball up towards Zubak, challenging with Ballo. Ballo's just added that bit of physical presence along the back line. Did well there in the aerial challenge. And perhaps a bit of miscommunication there. I think Oscar Sordo could have used the shout from his goalkeeper Clement Diop there, as he certainly had plenty of time to take that one down. Instead, heads it out of bounds, and it's a throw-in deep in the attacking half, out of nothing for the Rangers.
And a ball that was essentially just a giveaway ball by Amir Djidic turned into a chance.
Floated cross for Christian Duke. He heads it in. It's the equalizer from the captain. Christian Duke heads it home, and it's 1-1 in Kansas City.
And that's it right there. That's the exact thing we were talking about with making sure you let LA Galaxy 2 know you're not going to roll over. This game is still up for grabs. And it starts pretty simple. It starts with the ball that got away from Amir Djidic. There was no opportunity there to win the ball, and Sordo makes a mistake, plays it out for the throw-in. And Ayrton there, and we've seen that technical skill from him so many times over the last month. Just holds the ball, sets himself up, gives himself the time and space to pick out Christian Duke. Look at that little right step on the ball, pulls it back with his right foot, flicks it up to Christian Duke. And Christian Duke, not exactly the tallest man on the field, not exactly the guy you'd expect to go up and win a header, but when he's that open and the ball is that good, that's a really good goal from the Swope Park Rangers.
First goal of the season for the captain, Christian Duke, his first for the Swope Park Rangers, and it's a big one. He's leveled the score here 1-1, and you're right, Chad, what a delivery from this man, Ayrton, on his weaker foot as well. Did well to hold up play and cut it back and delivered a peach of a cross that you felt really Christian Duke had to head home. There's Meyer looking for a ball over the top from Dane Kelly, just a touch from the defender. And offside perhaps, no whistle.
That's really poor stuff from the officials, actually. I watched what was going on there. The AR on the near side for us here raised his flag for offside. Dane Kelly kept looking over his shoulder, and you could see it there, thinking, oh no, I'm called offside. But referee Kyle Burkhardt is waving it off. Dane Kelly doesn't see it. That's a ball that Dane Kelly was on in the corner and should have had. And Kyle Burkhardt waved that off from the very beginning, but because it was not communicated well to the players on the field, a chance that could have been an opportunity for the Swope Park Rangers simply doesn't happen.
It was a strange one for sure. It's good insight, Chad. I wasn't sure what happened there as Kelly stopped, but the whistle never blew.
It was really, really odd, Carter. I'm not going to lie to you. Kyle Burkhardt waved it off immediately. There was no question to him that Dane Kelly was onside, but the AR left his flag up, and you saw Dane Kelly continue to look over his shoulder and see the flag up.
Play has restarted. It's a poor touch from Tommy Myers. He lets that one drift out. Jamison quickly throws it in. Back with Mashanian. There's Jeffrey Payeras allowing his goalkeeper to come up and claim. Payeras, of course, in the lineup for the suspended Hugo Arellano, sent off in their loss at OC Blues last time out. Also sent off in that game head coach Kurt Anolfo, so not quite the Kansas City reunion Anolfo perhaps would have been looking forward to.
He is here in the park tonight. I watched him walk by us here in the press box a little bit ago. But we're actually still a little unclear as to who is coaching Los Dos on the bench tonight.
Could be Rob Becerra. Could be goalkeeper coach Daniel Gonzalez, who actually coached Peter Vermees with the Rapids.
And I see them both over there on the bench. It could be a bit of a coaching by committee thing, too, with Kurt Anolfo here in the building tonight. I assume, especially with the weather delay, he was there to give the pregame talk. And will probably be in the locker room at halftime for the halftime talk. So
Dane Kelly, some good pressure there. He almost nicks it off the toe of Diop. Good high pressure from the Rangers. And now Walefi looking for Mark Anthony Gonzalez. He'll give chase. Oscar Sordo having to do some defensive work there and just managed to get his body in front of the player. Not the most contact, but Definitely a foul there, as looked like Anthony Gonzalez perhaps overeager to get in on that challenge.
Yeah, I think Mark Anthony Gonzalez raises his arm and puts it on Sordo's back as Sordo shielding that. And as soon as Sordo feels the contact, he goes down. That's smart stuff from Oscar Sordo. And Oscar Sordo, a guy who has been a professional soccer player now, even though he's very young, he's been a professional soccer player for 4+ seasons, was signed as a homegrown player by LA Galaxy all the way back in 2012. So you'd expect that kind of knowing veteran move from a player with that kind of experience.
Very highly rated Oscar Sordo, right back for Los Dos tonight. Actually got called into January camp with the senior U.S. national team back in 2014. There's a loose ball, though, from Amir Djidic. It can lead to an immediate counter. Djidic, however, gets stuck in on Zubac. The left back, Smith, trying to charge forward. Drop it back with Fuji. There is aforementioned Sordo. His ball inwards for Villarreal, whose first-time layoff is intercepted. Christian Duke had Mark Anthony Gonzalez on the far side. If he could have spotted him, it's a good take from Gonzalez. Back with Djidic. First-time layoff is nice. Meyer with the first-time cross. Back with Tierpak. He'll have a rip and slices wide and out of bounds, but it's good build-up play from the Rangers.
That was really, really nice stuff through the midfield. A lot of one-touch. The clever ball from Chris Tierpak to flick it wide to Meyer. Then Meyer with the one-touch cross here. That's how you break a team down, is quick movement through the midfield, switching fields with it. And that shot from Tierpak, just probably a little too audacious with the way that ball was rolling.
Djidic lets that one bobble off his foot. Zendejas getting an extra touch, making his professional debut tonight. As we mentioned, Adrian Zendejas. Look at that clever turn from Tierpak. Good center back play from Nishanian. Just snuffed out the danger as he saw his left back getting beat by the turn inside and was immediately on the spot to tackle possession away. You can hear some nice nat pops there as Nathan Smith is talking to his left winger, Bradford Jamison.
Sounded to me, Carter, like what he was saying was invite them into the play. Meaning draw the defenders and the midfielders to you, then play off, and then get yourself wide and win the ball.
Poor ball ahead from Villarreal, looking for Jamison wide left, and Tommy Meyer was alert to the danger. Smith now trying to head it forward. Meyer again gets a foot in. Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Layoff from Jose Villarreal. It's a smart touch from Djidic and a clever pass inside to match. Ayrton perhaps trying to get a little too clever, though. He bailed out by his Corinthians compatriot, Walefi. It's a good ball forward from Gonzalez. He's trying to play it over his own teammate, Christian Duke, and just couldn't lift it high enough. Otherwise, perhaps Mark Anthony Gonzalez was in behind.
Did that ball actually hit Christian Duke as he tried to flick that over? It was a little hard to see what happened there, but if he does get that ball over his captain, he may be on goal.
Dane Kelly doing some work to hold play up from the throw-in. Here's Amir Djidic, fresh off his 2 Champions League appearances for Sporting Kansas City. Meyer out to the back post. Gonzalez! What a cross! What a header! And it's 2-1. The Rangers lead Los Dos.
It is early yet in this match, but LA Galaxy 2 may want to starting to mark the forwards And the midfielders for Swope Park Rangers, that's 2 unmarked headers, completely unmarked headers for goals from the Swope Park Rangers. And I think the ball, the kind of weird giveaway and the ball falling to Tommy Meyer is what threw the defense off, but there's no excuse for letting a forward run that open on the back post. It's a really clever ball and a really clever run from Tommy Meyer and Mark Anthony Gonzalez, respectively. And that's a simple finish.
Mark Anthony Gonzalez getting his team-leading 8th goal of the season. Tommy Meyer grabbing his 2nd assist. Beautiful curling ball just over the defender. And like you said, Chad, that's a free header. And Mark Anthony Gonzalez is going to make no mistake from there. It's 2-1 to the home side as they conceded within 2 minutes and have grabbed 2 back before the 30-minute mark. So a great response from Mark Dos Santos' team. They'll have some defending to do here. Jamison getting forward. He'll spread it wide. Zubak cuts it back to the left, trying to float across to the back post for Villarreal. Does well to keep it in play. Villarreal back with Fuji's. Closed down quickly by Ayrton. Just managed to get that pass away. Zubak again. Back for Mendiola. It's a good return pass for Zubak. He's got a good crossing opportunity. Just missed Bradford Jamison on the spot. Tierpak now looking for a ball out. It's not a very helpful one for his forward, Dane Kelly. Los Dos will keep possession here, and perhaps the Rangers will allow them to possess a little bit more as they'll look to hit on the counter with this lead. Villarreal, it's a tidy finish at the end of it. The whistle had already gone, but impressive from Villarreal. He's getting a little grin. Perhaps Gita said the same thing to him.
And Zendejas, to his credit, realized the whistle and stopped on that, but I don't know that he's got a chance to say that. That's a really cheeky little ball from Villarreal there. Unfortunately for him, the whistle had blown. Carter, I'm a little surprised there to see that when the ball went all the way back to the goalkeeper, Swope Park Rangers didn't push the line up any higher than they did, and that's what invited that ball in. There was ample time and space to move the line and take away the ability to play. But when they didn't do it, that's the obvious ball, is to switch the field and go right back in. Unlucky for Los Dos that the foul was called.
Tierpak just got a touch to that so he can play it forward for Christian Duke. Some contact just outside the box, or was it inside the box? No, it's just outside. It'll be a free kick just to the right of goal. And looks like Chris Tierpak came off worse for a challenge back in midfield, but it was Christian Duke who drew the foul. It'll be a dangerous free kick opportunity for the home team.
That's a really nice touch by Christian Duke to bring the ball down. And then Nishanian tries to put his body in front of Duke. But Duke showing excellent body control to stay there with that ball in front of him. So when Nishanian stepped in, all he does is cut with just the right leg in front of Duke and trips him. And it's an obvious foul and an easy call for Kyle Burkhardt. It's the play that happened back before that that has Chris Tierpak down. It's a clever little ball from Chris Tierpak in that 50-50 challenge, but it looks like he came out the worse for wear, even though he got to that ball, really sacrificing the body to make the touch for the flick over the top to Christian Duke.
It's tough to see what happened on that challenge as he flicked the ball forward, but several Rangers players were appealing to the referee to pull back to the spot here. Have to see if Tierpak can continue on here. Looks like Mark Dos Santos is trying to figure out the same thing along the far sideline.
I think that's Tomas Granito standing there right next to Mark Dos Santos.
Take a look here as we can perhaps see what happened on the play that has left Tierpak on the ground. It's a good touch there to help things on.
Ooh.
That's a late one.
And that looks like knee to knee. I know that angle's pretty wide. And yeah, if I had to guess just based on the shot we're seeing right now on the screen, Chris Tierpak probably not going to return to this match. Tomas Granito taking off the penny over there on the sideline, looking like he might go warm up. It's a better look at it from a tighter angle. Ooh, and that's exactly what that is. That's knee to knee, and Tierpak was planted. Maybe a hyperextension. You hate to speculate on what kind of an injury that is, but no matter what, you can tell that hurts.
It's Jeffrey Payeras, who came in late. Certainly would have been a foul had referee not allowed play to continue, and instead it'll be a free kick in better position for the Rangers.
Nancel Selbel and newcomer Akil Barrett warming up off on the sideline, maybe to replace Chris Tierpak also.
It's a much stronger bench from Mark Dos Santos this week as opposed to last week, so he has plenty of options on the bench. Just one academy player this week, where it was pretty much all academy players last week on the bench. So we'll have to see what comes of Chris Tierpak's injury. But first, the matter at hand, this free kick. Ayrton standing over it, tries to curl it, just takes a tip off the wall, and it'll be a corner kick to the Rangers.
Or it won't.
Perhaps not. Did look to take a deflection.
Pretty clear deflection to the naked eye. Imagine we'll see it again. I think it comes off. As you hear the fans in the stands also letting referee Kyle Burkhardt know it went off his head, ref.
That's just some good fandom right there. Letting the ref know. Ayrton, hefty challenge on Fuji. And a bit of a mix-up between Ayrton and Villarreal. See the experience of Jose Villarreal. He made a decision himself to send up the center backs on this free kick. Just about 10 yards inside the attacking half for Villarreal to take. Up towards the far post, it was a good delivery, flicked on by Nashanian. Well held and good first touch from Mark Anthony Gonzalez. Just looked to release Dane Kelly and couldn't quite find the pace on the pass. Back now with Diop. Chance to reset for the Galaxy. They are currently playing a man up as Chris Tierpak has gone to the sideline. It doesn't appear that he will be able to continue in this one. Villarreal now looking for the ball over the top to Jose. And Jaime cannot pick the accuracy on that pass. It was a clever idea. It looked like Villarreal had gotten the run on Tommy Meyer. Walefi now looking for the ball over the top, and that will lead to confirmation of what we suspected, Chad, is Chris Tierpak being withdrawn because of injury before halftime, and in the 35th minute, Nancel Selbel will come on for the Rangers. Last played a couple games ago against the Monarchs in Salt Lake City. So look to see what Nancel Selbel can add to this setup. He'll be pretty much a like-for-like substitution along that right wing.
And Nancel Selbel, a 19-year-old Sporting Kansas City Academy product.
Good 1-2 along the edge of the box. Christian Duke up for Dane Kelly.
Clash of heads there.
Yeah, it looks like Dane Kelly comes off the worst of that clash of heads. That's good refereeing. You see a clash of heads and you just got to make sure. Looks like he'll be okay. Well, it's a hot and humid night out here in Kansas City, Missouri tonight, Chad, as when we got here a few hours ago, it was already humid, and then you looked at the forecast, and the humidity just kept going up and up and up and up. So those players will have to deal with that, and Dane Kelly will have to deal with perhaps a knock of the head. And perhaps there wasn't head-to-head as we initially thought. Maybe just an elbow in the back there.
Yeah, I thought I saw Payeras grab at his head also, but he certainly didn't seem to be feeling it the same way Dane Kelly was. And because play stopped, Dane Kelly did have to leave the field. Will probably be waved back on here immediately as Ayrton gives the ball back.
Perhaps not in the most pleasant of manners, as you can see a few Galaxy players yelling at Ayrton now. It's Jose Villarreal who's pretty upset with the way that pass was delivered back to the goalkeeper. But Chad, back to the humidity. It's probably going to be a factor tonight, especially after these two teams had to delay the start of the game by 45, 50 minutes.
Well, and Carter, you can feel the humidity change when those storms blew in. The other thing that changed is the wind, or rather the lack thereof. Now, we were commenting with Swope Park Rangers general manager Kurt Austin that the flags on the opposite side of the field from us looked great when blowing in the wind about 4 hours ago. And you look at them right now and they are dead still. So that weather coming in certainly changed everything. And you could see it's another hot and humid night just by the way that these players are sweating.
There's a foul. Villarreal was the man who was knocked over. Get into the game through the USL's social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. This free kick taken quickly, and it's picked out a player along the far post. Mendiola looking for the scoop pass, and he gets onto the loose ball. Still Mendiola here, trying to keep it in play. Does well. Perhaps would have been better to just leave that one going out of bounds, as the Rangers can now start on a counterattack. That's Pasher trying to cut inside. It's a pass that's in between two players, and Galaxy get back onto the ball. Smith now. Zubak had checked back the left wing position. Jamison inside. Wanted a 1-2 with Villarreal. Read well by Walefi. His form has been improving in the later months of the season. Enough to get him a call-up with Sporting Kansas City for the CONCACAF Champions League. Selbel now getting on the ball. And didn't feel the pressure from Jamison. Jamison still dribbling through, and he's picked up a foul. It's in amongst the legs there, and he goes over. Home crowd didn't much appreciate it. It did happen right in front of the majority of the crowd.
Bradford Jamison was showing off some dance moves prior to kickoff, and he just showed them off again there. And I'm not quite sure what the home crowd is complaining about. That's a pretty textbook foul from Tommy Meyer, as Jamison dances through 3 or 4 guys, and then Meyer clips him with the last.
Villarreal clipping it up towards the penalty spot, headed away. And Galaxy 2 will get into the second phase of this free kick. Dane Kelly checking back to try and defend. Here's a cross up towards the spot again, and Zendejas over to his left. He prevents Nishanian's header. It looked like it could have been going into that far post. There's a great throw out from Zendejas. Distribution immediately to the feet of Natzel Selbel. Back with Tommy Meyer, inside Selbel. Gidic back with Selbel, nice little dummy pass, and he dribbles past Villarreal. Now Selbel still carrying it through. He's carried it through several lines now, over towards Pasher. Across for Gonzalez, and he's just put it wide. Perhaps over the crossbar as well. It's a golden opportunity for Mark Anthony Gonzalez to get his second of the match and put the home side up 3-1 here. It's a great ball across from Tyler Pasher.
two little hip fakes from Ansel Sobel on that play that opened him up. Well, you saw the ball to the corner to Pasher, the one-time hard-driven cross, and Mark-Anthony Gonzalez on the end of it, just inches maybe away from the top.
It's a great chance for Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, not too dissimilar from the goal he scored, just perhaps from the opposite wing. Jamison now going through a host of bodies. And he's got quick feet, Bradford Jamison. Wasn't able to maintain possession through that defensive crowd out. Good first take from Dane Kelly. Lofted ball over the top for Tommy Meyer. It looked like Sobel was in an offside position, so he smartly came back. That's a towering header and well placed from Diedic. Ayrton just let that one drag across him when perhaps he should have gotten a touch. Just a few minutes to go until halftime, but it's been a great response from the Rangers after conceding such an early goal.
Certainly has, and we spoke about it right after it happened. You had to get back in this game quickly, and the Swope Park Rangers did that and more. And really have had the better, I would say, of the run of play. The Galaxy with a couple of chances here and there, but certainly the better chances and more possession for Swope Park Rangers.
Pasher reads the diagonal up towards Gonzalez. Duels with Mendiola. It'll be off Raul Mendiola. Mark-Anthony Gonzalez there. He's got his 8th goal of the season tonight. He's been in the action, and perhaps at the beginning of the season you wouldn't have predicted him to be the leading scorer for this team, but he's certainly forced his way into Mark Dos Santos' plans.
Well, and when Dane Kelly went down, the Swope Park Rangers lost that target forward that they were expecting to have all season long. And a couple of guys filled in to try and take that spot. Chris Tierpak played there once. Tyler Pasher played there once. Daniel Shallowy, who's now on loan in Hungary, played there several times. And then Mark-Anthony Gonzalez slotted into the spot and made the position his own. And now that Kelly is back, he's been fantastic on the wide side.
Villarreal trying to get around Balo. It's a good double team from Duke, and then Villarreal will be adjudged to have fouled Omar Balo. Good defensive communication there between Omar Balo and Christian Duke. There's the foul from Villarreal, just nipping in at the heels of Omar Balo.
Pretty significant size difference there between Omar Balo and Jose Villarreal. And in fact, there's a pretty significant size difference between this Swope Park Rangers team and this LA Galaxy 2 team. Ethan Zubak, pretty big guy, especially for an 18-year-old as a target forward. But both Villarreal brothers fairly small. Raul Mendiola, very small. Rio Fuji, very small. So you'd expect most of the balls in the air tonight to be won by the Swope Park Rangers.
Kelly now battling with Payeras, and Payeras comes away victorious in that one-on-one duel. Mendiola now tracking back inside with Jaime Villarreal. Clipping it over towards the center back and might just run out of play to get to full stretch. Nashanian to keep that one in play. Villarreal back to the right-hand side. Mendiola just didn't realize Gonzalez was right on his hip there. It's a loose back heel attempt from Walefi, and he's actually been bailed out there. It looked like the Galaxy player just didn't notice it, and as a result, it's a throw-in for the home team. Referee getting into some more conversations. Some heated conversations. You could see Sordo getting in the face, and perhaps that's for dissent as Oscar Sorto goes into the book. The first yellow card of the night for either team, and it's against LA Galaxy too.
And Kyle Burkhardt has shown a propensity for wanting to have a talk with players, wanting to settle the match down without going to the book. But maybe one word too many there, and he brings the yellow card out of his pocket.
Meyer cutting inside, and his inside pass is just poorly hit. Good tracking from Ayrton. Didic allows to get back inside and defend away. Kelly trying to roll it past Palleiras, and again, good defending from the big center half from Rancho Cucamonga. Excuse me, he's from Hawthorne. Wide now with Jose Villarreal. Smith back to Villarreal. 3 minutes of added time announced over the loudspeakers, and we're into that added time now. 2-1, the Rangers lead. Galaxy trying to pull one back just before the break, and what a big moment that would be to score. A little pinball action, and Zendejas will calm things down a bit.
That's smart stuff from Zendejas there. Just trying to play out the end of this half. Make sure you don't give up any opportunities. Really like seeing that, showing some moxie on his first match, is Adrian Zendejas.
Spent time with Club Tijuana and played for the Cholos under-20 team, Zendejas, but it's Christian Duke who got the goal to equalize things here. Pasher on the throw-in from the far side. This man got the go-ahead goal, Mark Anthony Gonzalez. Good work to get past one. Now two defenders, a third defender, and it's Bradford Jamison, the fourth LA defender, who managed to get a toe in.
See what you did there. Bradford Jamison, the fourth LA defender.
Completely unintentional, I assure you.
You should take credit for that one.
Here's Meyer, and for the run of Duke. Chested down. To be a 50-50 challenge there on a ball in the air, and Dane Kelly adjudged to have committed the foul. It'll be a sore one for Palleiras.
Yeah, it's certainly going to sting, but there's nothing to this. Kelly's going to the ball. Kyle Burkhardt, right, correct to not show a yellow card, even though the Galaxy players were asking for it.
Still talking to Burkhardt is the captain, Jaime Villarreal. And because Clement Diop took too long, Kyle Burkhardt's just going to blow the whistle for halftime. So it was a perfect start for Los Dos. They started the game with a goal through Bradford Jamison, but Christian Duke leveled the score, and Mark Anthony Gonzalez got the second to put the home side, Swope Park Rangers, up. So we go into the halftime break. It's Swope Park Rangers 2, Los Angeles Galaxy 2, 1.
Life is a great place to get out of your comfort zone and live life adventurously.
I enjoyed the zip line. That was the most exciting part of the day. Every zip line was so fast, and you didn't know how you were going to land it, but somehow you did, and it was really exciting.
Welcome back in. It's halftime here at Children's Mercy Victory Field. Swope Park Rangers lead LA Galaxy 2 by a score of 2-1. Let's take a look here at the second half highlights. Alongside Chad Reynolds, I'm Carter Augustine. And Chad, it was a tough start for the home side, as initially it was a good chance for the home team early on.
Well, this is the ball that was punched away by Diop, and then the quick break. Ball finds its way to Bradford Jamison in the corner, and just 2 touches across to the face of the goal, and that's a good finish. Adrian Zendejas maybe hugging his post a little too closely on his debut, but Swope Park Rangers getting right back in it. What a ball from Ayrton. And that's an easy-headed goal for the captain, Christian Duke.
Perfect delivery, met with the perfect header. And then here was the go-ahead goal for Mark Anthony Gonzalez on a cross from Tommy Meyer.
And you see Tommy Meyer given all day to pick out Mark Anthony Gonzalez there, and he makes no mistake. Probably could have chested that ball into the goal. That's how simple that was, and that's how good that ball was from Tommy Meyer.
So an early start for the Galaxy, but a great response from Swope Park Rangers, and they lead this game 2-1 at halftime. We'll be back shortly for second half kick.
As the torch of Rio is extinguished, the eyes of the world turn to Kansas City, where tonight we have the finals in men's freestyle swimming live from Dom Dwyer's pool. Can the Englishman channel gold at his home venue? You might say this is his best chance. Standing in his way are Colombia's Jimmy Madronda and Sony Mustavar of Haiti, who have their own gold ambitions. And what about the newcomer from the United States, Cameron Porter, vying to make a splash on the international stage? All that and more next as we send you live to Dom Dwyer's pool, where Nate Bucati is standing by.
Thank you, Jake. You are looking live at a suburban Kansas City home, where we are set for the semifinals for freestyle swimming. Cameron Porter from the United States versus Sony Mustavar in our first semifinal matchup. Then we'll have Dom Dwyer out of Great Britain taking on Jimmy Madronda from Colombia. Well, there was no shortage of gamesmanship before our first semifinal matchup, as Cameron Porter claiming to have issues with his swimmer's cap, while Sony Mustavar seems to have taken some masking tape to put the Haitian flag on the side of his. And they're off. 2 strokes to one end of the pool for Cameron Porter, and a flip turn that could come in crucial with the length of this pool. Already down and back comes Cameron Porter, and almost literally blowing Sony Mustavar out of the water. It's Cameron Porter from the United States advancing to the finals. That leads us to our second semifinal matchup. Jimmy Madronda out of Colombia versus Dom Dwyer, who ironically, representing Great Britain, is on home soil in his own pool. Careful not to be distracted by the basketball hoop that's right behind this Olympic-length pool that has been measured. And they're off. It's Dwyer in the right lane, trying the flip turn and somewhat veering off course, but still Dwyer with a slight lead over Jimmy Madronda out of Colombia. Dwyer coming into his last turn, possibly crossing across the pool noodle in the lanes, stopping for a moment of trash talk, but still pulling away from Madronda at the end, possibly knowing the pool a little bit better than his Colombian adversary. It's Dwyer on to the finals. Now it's time for the bronze medal contest between Jimmy Madronda in the far lane out of Colombia and Sony Mustavar from Haiti. Away they go. Jimmy Madronda the first to the wall, but it's Sony Mustavar with the kick turn, or at least some version of a kick turn, as they come down to the final lap. It's Mustavar to the wall first. From Haiti, trying to bring glory to his homeland, and it's Mustavar on the wall, and Haiti will earn the bronze medal in freestyle. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, the gold medal match. Cameron Porter out of the United States in the far lane versus Dom Dwyer from Great Britain in the near lane of his own pool. Some gamesmanship from Dwyer as he's laid into the block, but he gets a push-off from the railing and a quick turn by Dwyer, but already Porter has exploded away. Some on social media might be questioning the path of Dom Dwyer, who might not have come all the way to the other end of the pool, but still it's Cameron Porter taking home the gold for the United States of America. Dom Dwyer cannot use the home pool advantage, and it's Porter, the American hero, winning gold in suburban Kansas City. A prideful moment for all of these world-class competitors. Sony Mustavar taking home the bronze medal to his native land of Haiti. Dom Dwyer earning the silver for Great Britain. And Cameron Porter etching himself in Olympic glory with the gold medal in the freestyle of Dom Dwyer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the United States of America. Olympic Games provide the stage, and sports are the drama that never fail to deliver. That's all from Kansas City. Good night.
Welcome back on in to Children's Mercy Victory Field in the Swope Soccer Village. Second half about to get underway as the Swope Park Rangers take their halftime lead of 2-1 against LA Galaxy 2 on into this second half. Again, I'm Carter Augustine, joined by Chad Reynolds, and it's a good response from the Rangers. Chad, after going a goal down early on, Zendejas picking the ball out of the net seemingly his first action as a professional soccer player. But they responded well, regained control of the match, and gained the lead through this man, Mark Anthony Gonzalez. And what do they need to do in the second half?
At least for the beginning of the half, I think the goal is to maintain. It's too early to sit back. It's too early to rest on your 2-1 lead and hope that's enough. But maintain what you were doing for, let's call it, the last 30 minutes of the first half, where you were the aggressor and, frankly, the better team.
And speaking of aggression, it seemed to be getting chippy towards the end of that first half. Oscar Sorto getting a yellow card for dissent. Villarreal was in amongst the arguments, and referee Kyle Burkhart gets the second half underway. It was Villarreal going over to talk to Burkhart. A little bit of a olive branch extended before this second half. See how that pans out. Immediately it's Jose Villarreal trying to get in behind, but good recovery speed from Omar Ballo. Certainly adds that speed and physicality in the back.
When that ball came off of the foot, it looked like Jose Villarreal had a beat on it and was going to beat Omar Ballo, and then the closing speed from Omar Ballo.
There's a quick throw in, and Villarreal gets onto that one. Looked like Didic was a bit lackadaisical after conceding the throw and didn't get back in time, and Villarreal ran into the space and had to go.
And that's exactly what Jose Villarreal brings to this LA Galaxy 2 team. You talked about it in the first half. His experience, 60-some-odd matches with LA Galaxy, first team in Major League Soccer. And he's the type of player that one chance, he can take advantage and change a game.
And head coach for the Rangers, Mark Dos Santos, was talking about that to us during the week chat. He said, you know, this team, LA2, don't necessarily rely as much on their tactical setup or their discipline in their tactics. It's really a bunch of players that can pull off magical moments in one-on-one situations, and we saw that in the first half with Bradford Jamison. So any of these players can produce those type of moments at any time.
And Bradford Jamison, one shot, one goal. You know, that's the kind of talent that Mark Dos Santos was talking about.
So still plenty of defending left to do, and this one is just underway here in the second half. In that first half, Rangers outshot LA 5-3. 2 saves for the debutant, Adrian Zandejas. 0 saves for Clement Diop. You can hear that one. Ayrton first got to the ball, but you could hear his follow-through catching the cleat of Sorto there. Like a sore one for the LA right back, and Ayrton goes into the books early on in this second half.
And I actually hope we have a second look at that. That was right here in front of our booth, Carter. And to me, that's, if anything, that's Ayrton getting to the ball first and Sorto getting there second. And if the second man comes through and injures himself, to me, that's not a foul. It's not a yellow card. It's not anything. They should have played on. But Kyle Burkhart was pretty positive and pulled the card immediately.
Someone needs to tell that ball kid to get out of our camera's view there. Maybe take another look here at that yellow card challenge for Ayrton. No ball kid in the way on this one.
Yeah, to me, Ayrton wins that ball, and Sorto's the one who's late to it, but Kyle Burkhart saw it another way.
On the other end of the field, it'll be a free kick for the Galaxy. Jose Villarreal standing over this one. He's got a few siders in the first half. This one up towards the edge of the box. Fuji tries a shot from the edge of the box. Dane Kelly posting up on Sorto. He's got Pasher if he can find him. Keeps the ball in play, though, and he's dribbling along the near sideline. Dane Kelly looking for the far post. Nansel Selbel is just behind him. He'll have to retreat. That'll allow Los Dos to get back in their defensive shape. Gonzalez now back with Selbel. Cutting inside. Sprays it back to Gonzalez, and it's a poor back pass, and that attack just kind of fizzled out in the end. Looked promising with Dane Kelly charging down this near sideline.
And I think that's tired legs. Mark Anthony Gonzalez ran a full 60 yards. And then when Selbel got the ball the first time, he then made a 15-yard sprint to open things up and get onto that ball in the corner. And I think by the time the ball recycled and found its way back to him, he just didn't have the legs to make the pass he wanted that quickly on the end of 2 big runs.
There's pressure from Christian Duke in midfield. Leads to a turnover, and Dane Kelly has a go towards the near post, just grazes the side netting on the outside of the goal. Leads the team in shots, Dane Kelly, and you can see why, not afraid to take things on from long range.
I don't think Diop saw a lot of that. There was some traffic out front, and that ball came through. He seemed to whip his head left as that ball passed him. And usually a goalkeeper, if he reads that ball well, pulls the arms out and lets everybody know, hey, I got a beat on this.
There's a speculative effort from Jose Villarreal trying to perhaps test Zendejas on his debut, and he spilled it, did the youngster, 20-year-old from Chula Vista, California. I'm sure he knows all about LA Galaxy. Mendiola now getting over the top. Just didn't get on the same wavelength as Jose Villarreal.
Carter going back to that last shot from Villarreal. Coach Mark Dos Santos talking about Zendejas' foot skills and saying he was good with the ball at his feet. I don't think that's quite what he had in mind, chesting down a shot like that from distance. But we see it again right here. The ball finds its way to Zendejas, and he smartly slows the game down, doesn't force anything, makes LA Galaxy come to him before he picks that ball up. No reason to rush things right now. Certainly don't want to sit back, but you also don't want to expose yourselves by trying to counter too quickly.
Galaxy with the ball, trailing 2-1 after scoring inside 2 minutes. Villarreal over the top. Perhaps Zubac can get on the end of it. He does well, does Zubac, to keep things alive for Los Dos. Jamison now cutting inside on his right foot. He has a go, and it's over the crossbar, but good industry from Ethan Zubac, the 18-year-old, catching up with that one and winds up with a chance for Bradford Jameson the fourth.
And I don't know if we'll see it, but Ethan Zubac ended up all the way into those flags at the end of the field here before he wins the ball and then plays it back, and it finds its way to Bradford Jameson. Bit ambitious from that spot, but I don't think I blame LA Galaxy 2 for testing a rookie goalkeeper on his professional debut, and that seems to have been something that came from the team talk at halftime, because we've seen 2 shots from distance now in as many minutes.
Los Dos getting the majority of play here in the second half, but he's crowded out. Is Villarreal there? Olefi now. Did he time the run? Gonzalez, he did. Onside, Mark-Anthony Gonzalez trying to get in the box. A spin turn, still alive. Mark-Anthony Gonzalez back for Kelly, and he blazes over. Oh, it's a golden chance to go 3-1 up. Olefi with the perfect ball over the top, and Mark-Anthony Gonzalez just avoiding the offside step. In the end, Dane Kelly blasting over when he should have put it on frame.
And I'll tell you, I actually thought Olefi waited too long, but he ended up timing the ball perfectly, and it's a great round by Mark-Anthony Gonzalez, being hugged by Jeffrey Payeras there. Holds him off, lays it off for Dane Kelly, who just fires high, and Dane Kelly's going to want that one back. But more good stuff. Another excellent chance for the Swope Park Rangers.
You see how dangerous this team is on the counterattack. Here they are again. Selbel doing his defensive duties. Steals the ball away. Olefi just dropped that dime. Looking for another. This one's going to be over the head of Tyler Pasher. Good handiwork from the Canovas on the sideline here. Jaime Villarreal over to the left back, Nathan Smith. Smith back with Villarreal. So to his brother Villarreal, the Galaxy getting a ton of possession here in the second half. So they look to get back into this game. Zubac, step over, back to the sideline, and Selbel gets a sliding challenge in. Smith still manages to keep it in play, or perhaps no, he did not. Finally, Kyle Burkhardt spots his assistant referee. It'll be a goal kick.
pressure there from Nensel Sobel. The saving play on the defensive side, forcing Smith to play that ball before he's ready, and therefore ends up out of play.
Second ball searching for Tyler Pasher on the near sideline, and just can't pick out the left back. He's finding himself in good areas. Pass just not matching the field awareness. Sorto back with Payeras and back to Diop. It's a good ball out. It's the far sideline now. It's the left back, Nathan Smith, cutting back. Played inside with Jaime Villarreal. Sprays it wide right. Mendiola takes it well off the chest. Looking for the overlap, just uses it as a decoy run, and Rangers really have dropped back into their defensive shape here. It's a poor giveaway from Fuji. Olefi now ahead for Christian Duke. Fuji gets back on it, wins back possession for the Galaxy. Mendiola now looking for Jose Villarreal in the box, trying to square it across. Off the line. Gidic was there, and actually be a yellow card against, looks like Ethan Zubak. Tried to slide in on that ball in the box, and perhaps it's just a bit too late. Mir Gidic clearing it off the line. Will be Zubak getting the yellow card, going in the books. And perhaps a strange one, Chad, is a lot of times these challenges in the box go unnoticed as the ball looked to be loose, squared across the face of goal from Jose Villarreal.
It's a good ball in from Indiola. Villarreal, I don't think gets as much on this as he'd like. Zendejas a little at sea, but what looks to be a 50-50 ball. Gidic, just the longer legs, wins it, and then the longer legs, I think, what does him in the end. The sliding tackle from Zubak. And anytime you go sliding into a 50-50 ball, you're asking for trouble, and in this case, Zubak probably deserves the card. And Amir Gidic, even though he makes the saving play, he's going to feel the effects of that one for a while.
Zubak, a former U19 Youth International, played the Copa de Atletico tourney in the Canary Islands for the U19s. Take another look at challenge in the box from a closer angle here.
Really is a great ball from Mendiola. Ooh, and the stud's exposed. That's really where that hurts, and it looks like it catches Gidic below the shin guard a little bit, and that's just unfortunate because that's exactly what the guard is supposed to protect, but obviously it can't cover every inch down there. And Gidic swinging out with the slide tackle just as Zubak comes in with the studs exposed. I think he's asking, why is that not a red card if the bottom of the foot is that flat and that up in the air? But
well, that's the question, Chad. If that happens elsewhere on the pitch, perhaps that is a sending off, but because that's a striker in the box trying to get on the end of a loose ball, oftentimes you will see it adjudged differently.
well, and that's always been the big question about fouls in the box both directions. You see things happen on corner kicks, the jostling and the grabbing and the pulling that would never be allowed anywhere else in the field. And you see collisions like that certainly go straight in the book. And this one did go straight in the book, but to your point, Carter, that much of the foot, that much contact on a 50-50 ball, anywhere else in the field, that could be a straight red. And right there, it's a no doubt yellow card, but didn't look like referee Kyle Burkhardt even considered going to the back pocket.
Of course, no intent there from Zubak. All he saw was the loose ball in the box and the wide open net beckoning. Just needed to get a touch. And as far as Amir Gidic, he's taken a sore one on the shin there in the studs up challenge, but had to get the challenge in to prevent what would have been an equalizing goal for Los Dos.
And if Amir Gidic is not able to return to the game, it'll be interesting to see what Mark Dos Santos does. It looks like Gidic is going to work it out over there on the sideline, but no true center back on the bench. So you'd have to think Tommy Meyer would slot in at center back and Johnny Grant would come in at right back. And now we see Amir Gidic jog back on. Looks a little ginger, but he does look like he can move.
Immediately into a back pedal as smartly Villarreal was looking to test Gidic out. Just didn't get the right weight on the pass, did Jaime. And there is Amir Gidic. Started back-to-back games in the CONCACAF Champions League for Sporting Kansas City. Perhaps not his greatest performance in the last one midweek in Vancouver. Mark Dos Santos will be glad to have Baker University product back in his starting lineup today.
Well, and Carter, I mean, let's not to put too fine a point on it, but nobody really showed well for Sporting Kansas City in that match midweek. So you can't, I don't think, blame anything on Amir Džidić. And you just really like to see a kid like Amir Džidić, who really is a fantastic person, get his shot.
Here's Villarreal in the box. He'll fire towards the near post. Zendejas looked like he was down to cover that, but Jose Villarreal is popping up in dangerous areas in this second half.
Carter, to continue that story about Amir Džidić, it's a guy who played locally here in Kansas City, or here near Kansas City, essentially begged to get a tryout when he saw that the Swope Park Rangers were going to be coming into USL this season, was given a shot, makes the team. At the beginning of the season, he's sitting on the bench, then wins a starting spot and suddenly has forced his way not only into the 18, but into the 11 for Sporting Kansas City when they needed a center back.
Tommy Meyer getting a cross in, chested down, Dane Kelly, edge of the box. Still loose and finally cleared away. It's a good touch on the shoulder from Mendiola. Looked like it was going to be Pasher's ball, and then a clever turn as well. Amir Džidić, however, alert to the danger. Here's Christian Duke, fresh off his first goal for the club. Back in the midfield role that Mark Dos Santos says is really his best position. He's played a lot of fullback over the years for Sporting Kansas City's affiliates. Pasher now sliding in, gets a touch on the ball. It drops to Jaime Villarreal. An hour gone. There's half an hour remaining. Swope Park Rangers still clinging on to this 2-1 lead. Perhaps should be 3-1 up. A couple of golden opportunities from Mark Anthony Gonzalez in the first half, and Dane Kelly here in this second. Zubak now one-on-one with Pasher, getting into the box. Zubak trying to cut it back, and he looked like he chopped it off his own foot there. Tyler Pasher with some good recovery work when it looked like he was going to be beat initially.
And both hands go up there, both Tyler Pasher and Ethan Zubak calling for the ball to go their way on the ensuing free kick. Zubak thinking it's a corner, or at least asking for the corner. Pasher fairly confident it's out for a goal kick, and this is really good one-on-one defending. Zubak tries to go fast past him. Pasher with the speed, steps in, closes him out, and actually wins the ball off of Zubak for the goal kick.
That goal kick was headed out of play by the Galaxy. It'll be a throw in just past the halfway line on the near side. Dane Kelly battling for possession. Did well initially, but couldn't beat three players. Walefi read that one perfectly well. He'll get back on the ball, Will Walefi. Over to Džidić. Through ball for Nansel Selbel. Just touches it around. Jaime Villarreal gets it started with a quick restart. Even Dane Kelly wasn't alert to that. Asking a lot of Mark Anthony Gonzalez. He just manages to get there. Back for Pasher. Ayrton now. Tried to go between the legs of Sorto. Didn't fool the right back. It'll be a throw in. Deep in the attacking half. Duke now. Ball's loose in the box. Selbel, can he get onto it? Careless challenge in the back from the LA defenders. Pretty reckless, deep inside their own box.
And Sobel with his back to goal, this ball finds its way to him, kind of flicked out of there, and then he comes through, gets a touch on it, has his back to goal, and wow. Lena Shanian literally coming straight through the back of Nansel Selbel. maybe enough bodies in the way and enough legs and arms flailing that Kyle Burkhardt didn't have a good angle at it, but I didn't see any contact of the ball from Nishani and certainly got a whole lot of Nancel Selbel there.
Fortunate, I think, Nishani to get away with that. It was a fairly reckless challenge. Tyler Pasher now finds Selbel again. Goes down under the double team. Not too much contact there. Bit of a after shove from Selbel on Oscar Sorto. There's a center back. Payeras getting forward. Could hear him cry out after the challenge, and bit of a delayed whistle from the referee there.
I think Kyle Burkhardt letting the reaction from Payeras sell that one to him a little bit. Didn't see anything or didn't appear to see anything immediately as it happened and took his time in deciding that there was a foul there. And not sure what has happened off the ball that has Ayrton on the ground.
Some strange situations here developing. Didn't see what happened to Ayrton. A couple of substitutions being made for either team here. Or at least getting ready to be made. It's like Alex Milano was checking in. I believe I saw Ayrton's number on the board, but we'll have to keep up. Instead, the Galaxy will make their first changes as Rio Fuji checks out. Really didn't have a big influence on the game today. Fuji's replaced by Alejandro Covarrubias, another California kid.
Covarrubias started in the Galaxy's last match against OC Blues.
See Ayrton checking out, and I believe he'll be subbed off as well, and hopefully big good news regarding Ayrton's health, as didn't see the challenge but limps off the field. The other substitution that was made by Los Dos was Jose Villarreal being withdrawn. Have to see how they cope without Villarreal on the field. He is replaced by Ariel Lassiter.
Number 45, Ayrton. He's being replaced by number 92.
Take a look here in a. This free kick is headed forward and in on goal. In a way. Good move from Nancel Selbel as on Adrian Zendejas was alert to the challenge on the other end. I'm trying to give you a look as to why Ayrton went down. Selbel is fouled and a yellow card will be shown to Jaime Villarreal.
It's a huge save back on the other end by Adrian Zendejas. I think we're going to get another look here at the foul on Nancel Selbel. And he just cuts Villarreal. That's Jaime Villarreal who makes a contact back in behind him. Asking for a dive, but looks like Villarreal reached the leg out as Selbel cut behind him.
And the substitution that we missed was Alex Milano coming in for Ayrton. Here's a look at that save that was made on the free kick. Take a look after this free kick as Alex Milano just onto the field for Ayrton. He'll take the set piece. It's up towards the edge of the box. Balo fighting for it. Look to just give a little bit of a shoulder barge, and it'll be a foul against the Rangers. So allows us to take a look at that save from Zendejas.
Cummins out big, keeps himself big, takes away the angle. That's textbook stuff from Zendejas there, who after a, we'll say a rocky start, not necessarily his doing on the initial LA Galaxy goal, but has certainly been solid the last 66 minutes of this match.
Well, it certainly appears to be an open competition in that goalie spot for these Swope Park Rangers. So if Zendejas can put in some good performances, possible he could just make that position his.
Well, I don't think it's any secret at this point in the season with the rotating door of goalkeepers we've seen for the Swope Park Rangers, be it John Kempen and then Zach Lubin and then John Kempen and then Zach Lubin and some Alec Can in there. And especially with Tim Melia, Sporting Kansas City's first-team goalkeeper, still sidelined with an injury, and Alec Can holding down that spot with John Kempen on the bench. Right now, I think Adrian Zendejas has a chance to make that spot his own with a performance like he's had tonight, especially if he can continue to stay solid.
There's Covarrubias getting involved. Checked in during that Ayrton injury. 20 minutes to go here in regular time. Swope Park Rangers still leading 2-1. Galaxy with a throw. Deep on the far side. Jameson back with Smith. There's a cross headed backwards by Christian Duke. And Tyler Pasher will be there to help that clearance on.
Carter, with everything that was going on during the substitutions and the injuries, we didn't get a chance to talk about Ariel Lassiter, the man who has come on for Jose Villarreal. And he is right now on the current squad, the second leading goal scorer for LA Galaxy 2, behind Jose Villarreal with 5 goals. But that's 5 goals in only 10 matches and only roughly 700 minutes. So he is a danger man.
Sorto on the right wing trying to find a cross to the back post. Smith charging in. Did well to get on the end of it, and he'll force the corner.
How about the defensive work from Mark Anthony Gonzalez?
Make a long run to keep up with the run from the left back. That's a right back crossing and a left back getting on the end of things on the far post. Ensuing corner kick. Mendiola to take. Curls it in towards the penalty spot. Thumping header from Djidic. Gets a high five from his captain. And a foul to go along with it. Certainly one of his strengths, Amir Djidic, is his prowess in the air.
He's a big guy. He doesn't lose a lot of headers. Not quite sure what Kyle Burkhardt is calling there. It looked like a pretty standard play in the box. A lot of bodies, but Djidic wins that. And to me, Carter, Kyle Burkhardt lost a little bit of control of this match. Nobody seems to know what's going to be called at any given moment. And I think at this point, the players know if they sell something, they're likely to get a call.
Kelly doing well to win that 50-50 ball. A little step over, looking for the run of Gonzalez, and just overcooked the pass to Dan Kelly. Hands up of apology. Djidic with a smart header. Back to his goalkeeper. That's Lasser on the chase. And Chad, you mentioned him being a danger man, and actually Mark Dos Santos pointed out his pace as being something that the Rangers will really have to take a look at. Perhaps he didn't expect him to start on the bench tonight, but come in as a super sub and with his team trailing.
Well, it's a little thing, but right there, Zendejas would have liked to have just settled that ball back from Djidic with his feet and held onto it and killed some clock. But Lassiter certainly wasn't going to give him that opportunity, and as soon as he saw that ball back, he kept pressing. And all it takes is a couple of steps, but you see the speed from Lassiter enough that Zendejas knew he couldn't just hold it and kill the game, had to pick it up with his hands.
You see it there, a couple of quick steps from Lassiter, gets on the end of it. It's a ball looping over, and Sorto tries to knock it down into the mixer. Omar Balo alert to the danger. Good work from Balo in his 6th straight start. Dropped a few games when Kevin Ellis came down for a rehab stint, but really has settled into his center back partnership with Djidic. Covarrubias over to Smith. Wide with Mendiola, who put some chalk on his boots to get open there. Djidic at the near post, able to snuff out that low cross. Dan Kelly now to perhaps start a counterattack. Selbo with Kelly running through the middle. couple of quick little jab step moves from Selbel. He'll go over to try and lend his support to Mark Anthony Gonzalez now on the right wing. Back with Meyer. Gonzalez in towards Duke. It's a good layoff, first time. Selbel going into the corner now. Tried to dribble past Nishanian, who read that one extremely well. Gonzalez, though, gets onto the loose ball. And Selbel had just strayed into an offside position.
Well, and Selbel watched the LA Galaxy line stop once and stopped with them, and then the Galaxy line stepped him a second time, and Edsel Selbel got caught ball watching a little bit there. So we see a substitution coming in for the Galaxy. That's Denzel Slager coming in. Nathan Zubak coming off.
Slager from Utrecht and the Netherlands. Spent time with RKC Walwick, as well as 4 appearances for Coventry City, which of course is the team that Jack McBean now plays for on loan. So a bit of international flavor to this mostly Californian side. He got 2 assists and 6 goals for the OC Blues last season, Slager, so it's not a bad return, and they'll love it. Will the Galaxy too if can get another goal here tonight, which would be his second for Los Dos. Throw in now right on the halfway stripe. First time pass ahead, Smith. It's a good ball. Lassiter fizzing into cross. Still alive and fired into the near post. Good work on the far side. It was Nathan Smith who really sprung this one. It's a great ball across the edge of the 6-yard box.
You see Zendaya scrambling a little bit there. I will say that's the one weakness I've seen in his game thus far tonight, is struggles a little bit with those crosses. Not the ones in the air so much, but the ones that are across the face of the goal and make him turn his hips. And that's tough for any goalkeeper. That's kind of what you want to do with the cross to the back post if you're an attacking team. But Zendejas seeming to favor his near post just a little too much and struggling to get back across.
Here's another substitution for the Rangers as Tommy Meyer will check out. Of course, Tommy Meyer, this game may have meant a little more to him playing against his former team, LA2. He made 12 appearances for Los Dos, including in last year's championship game. Perhaps was beaten for the first goal. He's replaced by Johnny Grant. And immediately some defending to do for Johnny Grant and the rest of the Rangers. And Christian Duke stands up well in that one-on-one situation. Looking for an out ball. Dane Kelly did get to it. Tried to flick it on for Gonzalez, but well read by Galaxy back line, specifically Payeras. Pasher trying to get stuck into the newcomer, Denzel Slager. There's a bit of an aimless ball forward from Oscar Sorto. Johnny Grant just has to give it some token shielding to let it drift out of play.
And I think that ball was intended for Bradford Jamieson, who had opened up wide and then it started to come inside, and Sorto had his head down and didn't get it back up in time before he played that ball. According to me, Bradford Jamieson looks like he's drifted out of this match. Maybe a fitness issue. Maybe he doesn't just, in the heat and humidity here tonight, really just the humidity, and it is certainly a heavy air, that Bradford Jamieson doesn't have the lungs to stay really engaged in this match. As you see, that's kind of a sloppy touch. It looks like a tired touch, pops that ball up from Jamieson there, and it's a giveaway.
On the other end, it was a great touch, little back heel from Dane Kelly, who crumples to the ground after that challenge. He'll stay on the ground, will Dane Kelly. Galaxy 2 continuing to play on. Slager trying to get past Pasher. Does well to beat him initially, and now skips over past Pasher's slide tackle. Edge of the box now. Lassiter trying to dribble through a couple players and just cleared get that ball anywhere, as the Galaxy were looking really dangerous. Dane Kelly still a bit of a non-factor as he's now trotting back into formation. Mendiola in for Jamison, now in the box. Sliding challenge, Gidic just got his toe to it. It was dangerous to go to ground in that situation, but it comes off.
Man, but what a tackle. That's the kind of tackle you can only make if you know you're the only person who can reach that ball. And then we see another late tackle from behind.
It's a yellow card. Looks like it'll go against Dane Kelly. Now some afters along the far sideline between Duke and Smith.
See Kelly and, oh, maybe just a reckless challenge more than anything. Dane Kelly saying, I got the ball, but I think it's the swim move and the push off, and now we see more extracurriculars, and the goalkeeper, Clement Diop, all the way forward to have a chat with Dane Kelly as he leaves the field.
So that'll be Dane Kelly's last act in the drama. He's replaced by his countryman Akil Barrett, who got his Swope Park Rangers career off to a flying start last week, nabbing the equalizing goal in his first appearance. He's averaging a goal every half, so interesting if he can get on the end of one here in these final 10 minutes. Flicked on and into the box. Zendejas will just dribble it over towards the edge of his box. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. Valleras now. Galaxy been gaining in possession here over these past 10 minutes or so, trying to find some chances. Lassiter outside of the boot. It's a tricky cross to deal with, and Omar Ballo just getting a foot to it and clearing that anywhere, and it will go out of bounds for a corner kick. Looked like the ref was waving for a sub to come on, and there were no subs waiting to check on. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. He was waving the trainer on as Natsel Selbel has gone to ground. Wonder if the time delayed and this humidity that's pretty extreme here tonight factor, although Selbel came on as a sub early on in this second half. Maybe a bit of gamesmanship here on the part of the Rangers.
Well, Jake Brownback, the trainer, doesn't seem to be looking at anything in particular. Natsel Selbel saying, the inside of my left leg's a little tight. They're saying sub him out though, so maybe it's just the type of thing that it's an obvious one. Natsel Selbel saying, nope, I'm done. Get me out of here.
Perhaps ruling himself out. You did see the universal substitution sign language. Looks like Will Little, perhaps the one getting ready to check in. Played well last week, Will Little, after coming on as a sub in the game against St. Louis, and will be making his 7th appearance of the season if he does indeed check in for Natsel Selbel. First, though, Rangers have a corner to deal with. Mendiola with the outswinger up towards the edge of the box. It's a towering header, and it's over as Lee Nishanian had a great opportunity, got a free run and a free header, but couldn't direct it on frame.
That's a big run. It was a long run from Nishanian. And we talked about it earlier that Amir Gidic doesn't get beat very often in the air. He's simply beat to this ball by Nishanian, who can't get high enough to get over the top of that and keep that on frame look like it's high and wide.
Barrett now, if he can get onto that loose one, you can see the pace. Quick couple steps Barrett has. Walefi now looking over the top for Barrett. Tried to head it down to himself. Gita stands up well in that aerial duel. Christian Duke just dribbling, over-dribbling in midfield, bailed out by a sliding Walefi challenge. Barrett looked to be caught late, and he was, and referee will blow for a free kick. We're into the 85th minute here, and there's the substitution that we talked about happening. Will Little checking in for Natzel Selbo, and also substitution being made for the Galaxy as Oscar Sordo checks out.
Los Angeles Galaxy 2 substitution in the 85th
It's
minute.
Adonis Amaya
Leaving the
coming
bench,
on.
number 36, Oscar Sordo.
Adonis
Who's
Amaya, the
taking
19-year-old from
23, Adonis Amaya.
Westminster, California.
And as you mentioned, Carter, Will Little coming on for the Swope Park Rangers to replace the injured Nancel Selbo. Will Little, another Sporting Kansas City Academy product,
Leaving the match, number 31,
18 years old out of Johnson City, Tennessee. And I say Will Little's a small guy. He's 5'7", 135 pounds is what he's listed at, but built much sturdier than that. When you see Will Little, he's got a broad frame, broad shoulders, and strong upper body. Certainly not as slight as his measurables would lead you to believe.
Good work from Tyler Pasher along the near sideline. Keep possession for the Rangers. Looks like Little has just swapped right into that right wing position. We'll have to keep an eye on where Adonis Amaya lines up as he checked in for a right back, but does have 2 goals on the season. Looking for Amaya there, and the ball is just a little too heavy. Perhaps 3 at the back now for the Galaxy as time's running out. They need an equalizer.
Calm
Gidic.
stuff from Gidic.
The calm first touch. It's a ball out for Barrett, showing the pace to get on the end of it. Barrett now bearing down on the box, cutting it back, and it's just a great foot in. Looked like Nathan Smith was the one who finally got a challenge on Akil Barrett. Alex Milano now. Overplayed by the Galaxy, and Milano can get in to the box. Little step over, trying to curl across for Mark Anthony Gonzalez. It's deflected and dealt with play. You can see the pace that Denzel Slager has. He plays it wide now. Lassiter cutting in onto his left foot, trying to fire it on goal, and didn't get much behind it. Just rolled it into the near post, and Zendejas will be happy to see that one into his arms.
Yeah, Ariel Lassiter's going to want that one back. Does well to pull it to his left, create enough space for him to get a shot off. Zendejas a little screened by his defender, but Lassiter scuffing the shot, only getting his toe to it. And even though it goes through his defender's legs, Zendejas having plenty of time to read that and cover it.
This ball is just helped on towards nobody. Christian Duke tried to get into Milano. Not the best hold-up play from Alex Milano there. Smith now with a raking crossfield diagonal. Taken well, but offside. Good take on the chest. It'll allow for another substitution from the Galaxy. This time, looks like Nathan Smith, another defender, will make way, and Kanoa Bailey will check in for Nathan Smith. Well, hey, make sure to check out the Swope Park Rangers' next home match, which is the 3rd in the middle of a 5-game home stand. It'll be this Wednesday, August 31st, here at Swope Soccer Village, 7:30 p.m. against San Antonio FC, who are the team ahead of them in the standings right now. So that game has huge Western Conference playoff implications. Of course, we'll bring you the call here on the USL YouTube channel. Lassiter outside of the boot. It's a pretty hopeful cross. Villarreal getting onto it now. Doesn't look to be much of a formation now between the Galaxy. Just throwing bodies forward as we move into the 90th minute. Galaxy throwing everything they have at trying to find an equalizer.
And Carter, that last substitution I think the fourth official actually had the wrong number up. It's Brian Rebellion who comes on now on the ball. Another big body, another big midfielder.
Apologizes. Believed to be Noah Bailey. Instead, correct, Chad, it's this man on the ball. Back now with Galaxy, and it's a raking effort as Denzel Slager tried to curl that one into the far post and just got way too much on it. We're hearing there's going to be an additional 6 minutes. See confirmation going up on fourth official's board now. So 6 more minutes for the Rangers to hold on to. Surprise face from a little kid in the stands ahead of us. I think that speaks for all the Rangers fans as they really just want to see this one out. 2-1 lead and 3 points here would be monumental as this team looks to charge into the playoffs in their first year of existence. Still some defending left to do. You got to think the Galaxy will get 1 or 2 more chances in this added time. Mendiola. It's a nice little move there. Inside now. Looking for the return, but Pasher just manages to check over. It's good work from Rebellion. He's now with it on the near sideline. Crossover move. Rebellion, he's been bright since he's come on. Galaxy have earned a corner kick. It'll be a corner to defend here for the Rangers. Check into the 92nd minute. It's on to the near post, flicked away. Good take from Barrett, trying to beat Slager with speed, but Slager matches him pace for pace there. Diop now, pushing everyone forward. His center back didn't allow him to boot it forward, though. Instead, it'll be punted up from Payeras. Inside now, overlapping run. Just couldn't quite stick, and Rangers might have some numbers if they can find the right ball. Marc-Anthony Gonzalez just got a stiff arm from Payeras there, and it allowed goalkeeper Diop to get on the end of it. Slager now. Overlap. Rebellion just couldn't get there. A bit of a sloppy pass there, and that's a gift for Swope Park Rangers as they'll take every second they can off the clock, including dwelling on this throw-in. Pasher gets it back and fires it off the Galaxy defender again. It'll be another throw-in, another opportunity to chunk a few seconds off the clock here. Sorry, that's a free kick. Somehow, not sure what was there, but Rangers get a free kick late on in the game here. Pasher just boots it up and gives possession away to the Galaxy. The Rangers will retreat into their defensive shape. Payeras forward now, just lofting it into space. It's a good run from Lassiter. Tries to lay it off. Pasher alert to the danger. Ballo, his first touch lets him down. Out of bounds. There'll be a throw in here for the Galaxy. Should be a couple minutes left here of this 6. Galaxy trying to carve out at least one more chance here. They've gone 90 minutes since their last goal. And they'll get another good opportunity here on a set piece as a reckless challenge from Akil Barrett allows Los Dos to pile everyone forward here.
Barrett just comes in really hard, really late. That's an obvious one.
It's poor play from the Jamaican as everyone in the box except the keeper went one other player. Clement Diop is past the halfway line. Trying to play a bit of sweeper keeper here, as this looks to be one of the better opportunities for the Galaxy late on. Towards the far post, charging in. Could have gone anywhere, but looked like it was chested out of play. Bradford Jamison getting on the end of it. It was a perfect delivery. Adonis Amaya looked to be the one crossing it in with the left foot, and Bradford Jamison just can't put it on frame.
And some in the crowd here thought that was in at the back post. It looks like it was off the side netting. And that ball hopping up, and it's Jamison right there. And bit of an arm, bit of a handball perhaps. Jamison will claim it was his chest, but either way, couldn't put it on frame and level the match late.
Just a tough height for Jamison, you're right. Threw a chicken wing at it. Perhaps hoping it to be a little higher so he could head onto it. Just couldn't just make up his mind, as it was an awkward height. And that was a great chance for the Galaxy on that set piece. So running out of time here, trailing 2-1. Gonzalez just managed to touch that one off Rebellon. Pasher now up for Milano, who hasn't really made his imprint on the match after coming on. Duke smartly defended that one. There's Milano. Clever little touch. Perhaps over dribbling. Instead, he draws a foul, and that'll be a really nice foul to draw, as looks like we've gone over the 6 allotted minutes, and we have indeed, as the final whistle blows, and Christian Duke and company managed to hold on to the 2-1 lead after initially giving up the first goal inside 2 minutes. It's Christian Duke who came up with the equalizer. And tonight's man of the match, presented by Courtyard Overland Park Metcalf, is Christian Duke, who of course got the equalizing goal as he scored his first goal for the club. It was a header in the 16th minute.
Quality performance tonight from Christian Duke across the board.
Here's that goal from Christian Duke as Ayrton pulled it back onto his right boot. It's a great cross and a great header. Right now in the scorecard, Ayrton is not credited with an assist. I have to imagine that will change.
I will fight for that if I have to.
It's a great ball, and Christian Duke popping up in the right spot to head it down and equalize the match. And of course, that would be the base from which this team would go on and get a go-ahead goal and all 3 points. Courtyard Overland Park Mayor Metcalf congratulates Christian Duke, tonight's man of the match. And Chad, these Swope Park Rangers found themselves in a tough situation, trailing 1-0 early on, but for the second straight week, they come from behind to gain some type of points, and tonight it's all 3.
It's a big 3 points tonight. Looking around the league, San Antonio FC winning means Swope Park Rangers needed 3 points tonight to stay in that race in the Western Conference. It's going to jump them up into either 7th or 8th, depending on how the rest of the results go. But really what you've loved to see from the Swope Park Rangers the last 2 weeks is the fight to get back into 2 matches. One last week that could have been a dagger when you give up a disappointing goal like you gave up, and then to come back and win it late. And tonight to go down immediately and not even before the half have gotten the match back in your corner, and then to hang on to it when LA was throwing everything and the kitchen sink at you. It's a big 3 points and a big 4 points from this back-to-back matches after trailing for the Swope Park Rangers.
And Chad mentioned the results around the league. San Antonio FC winning against St. Louis today, and that'll set up a doozy of a fixture for the next home match for these Swope Park Rangers this Wednesday, August 31st, out here at Swope Soccer Village at 7:30 p.m. as San Antonio FC come back to town. Make sure you're out here for that one, as it'll be highly important in the playoff standings. Of course, back on July 30th, Swope Park Rangers came away with a 2-1 victory against San Antonio. They'll be looking for more of the same in a very important Western Conference game this Wednesday. Well, it was a tough start for the Rangers as they conceded early on a second-minute goal from Bradford Jameson the fourth, but really good fight back from the home side. They get a equalizing goal from Christian Duke. Some good goalkeeping work from the debutant Adrian Zendejas. And a go-ahead goal, which wound up being the game winner, from Mark Anthony Gonzalez. As the Swope Park Rangers came away victorious 2-1. So for Chad Reynolds and the rest of our fantastic crew here at Children's Mercy Victory Field, Jordan Burrell, producer, director Brad Zimmerman, and all the rest of the gang, I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight. Swope Park Rangers come out victorious. They gain all 3 points. Final score, Swope Park Rangers 2, LA Galaxy 2, 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.